Get Sports Focus is presented by Dr. Ting Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery.
Yeah, that's the game.
Back there.
You gotta be wearing that.
Top, middle.
Yeah.
Second day back at the grind. A month and a half ago I couldn't walk or move any body part. So now getting back to playing baseball is pretty cool. Just working on everything I can get done today.
Very nice. A little hand-eye coordination. Working on just catching it with your normal hand, the left hand. We're going best 2 out of 3. So you drops one first. And then you're just working on tracking that ball, tracking the seams, tell you which way it's going to go based on the way it's spinning for a right-handed thrower and then transferring it. So, got you! You know, I've known the Garcia family for a while now, and coached Antonio a few years back, and obviously he has a long road to recovery, but we're just trying to do some baseball-related stuff right now, kind of ease into it, just see, get his arm back into shape, you know, whatever he needs, really. This is day 2, so you know, we're definitely gonna get better when he can catch his wind a little bit more. Just gotta put a lot of time in. The tough injuries coming back from, so just gotta be patient and go at whatever speed he can go at.
Third quarter, about 4 minutes in, the Bellboys just outside the red zone on the Lancers 22, and enter Antonio Garcia finding space, and that's all he needs. Bellarmine taking the lead for the first time tonight as they go up 14-12.
You look like you got a good day's work in. How you feeling right now?
I mean, I'm a little tired. Hey, but we're ready to go Monday morning, 7 a.m. for workouts.
You guys are making this WCAL league extremely complicated. I don't know what's going to happen towards the end of the season, but where can this Bellarmine squad go?
We can go as far as our O-line will take us. That's all it is. We got some meat up front, and as long as they work hard and we follow our blocks, no one can stop us.
11 in a row. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good to me. My dad went to St. Francis, and 26 years ago, he never beat Bellarmine either.
Wow,
and
now you take him down.
Swept St. Francis, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Feels amazing.
You guys can't be beat. Congratulations on the big win.
My name's Eddie Garcia. I actually was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Moved to San Jose actually when I was really young. And I attended St. Francis High School and graduated class of '89. Being from the island, you know, I was a big baseball fan. And at St. Francis, I played both baseball and football. You know, I was raised by a single mom. And so that came with something very special to me when I started having kids, that, you know, you don't live your life for yourself anymore, you live for your kids. And so, you know, with Antonio being our first and the first boy, you know, he had a glove in his hand and a football in his lap by the time he was, you know, 6 months. So he, he definitely got off to the right start.
So when I was 4 years old, I started playing t-ball. My dad coached me always. And then I found a love for football when I was 7. I played Pop Warner with West Valley. And then I played through my 8th grade year. And then all the travel baseball and whatnot. And then I got here at Bellarmine and made the freshman team, had a great year.
He's a great athlete. I mean, I had a very successful high school career and played baseball at the JC level. And you know, when people will tell me that, hey, you know, he's just looks just like you, I go, no, he doesn't, because he's about 100 times better than me.
The summer of my junior year, I didn't have any offers for baseball, which is what I wanted to do in college. So I actually considered quitting football before I would even step on the field varsity year.
He wanted to continue to go to baseball camps his junior year and showcases because he wanted to play baseball in college, and he didn't think he'd have the time to play football. And then ultimately, I think one day he just woke up and said, you know what, I don't want to miss out playing with my buddies to play football. And my God, it was the best decision of his life. Antonio was bred to go to St. Francis since the day he was born. And, you know, being from San Jose, in the back of my mind, I always thought that we would have to battle, you know, the specter of Bellarmine hanging there.
I need to hear right now, Bell Boys, 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 Bell Boys. I want to talk to two bells. It's not Gudakali, I love him to death. But tonight I'm going to talk to Antonio Garcia. Antonio, I was retweeting you last night and you said, in another dimension, in another world, you could have been on the other sideline. Tell me about that.
Well, my whole family went to St. Francis, and my dad and everyone, when I made the decision to come to Bell, I couldn't be happier. It was the best decision of my life.
So you're telling me your father went to St. Francis, your family went to St. Francis, but right here, right now, you're wearing a Bellarmine jersey. Shout out to you! That's called making your own path.
And I'll never forget the day my wife wanted him to experience everything, and so he went on his shadow day. Antonio didn't even want to shadow at Bellarmine, but my wife made him go. And I wasn't really a proponent of it either. I thought it was just a waste of time. And he goes to Bellarmine on his shadow day, and I'm sitting in my office. I'll never forget it when I get a text from my wife saying, quote, "Uh-oh, he loved it, exclamation point," end quote.
He gave me the opportunity to choose which school I wanted to go to, and I'm just so grateful that he did that. And because it's going to be different for my kids, because they don't really have a choice, because they're going to be Bells whether they like it or not.
We bleed blue now in the Garcia household.
Football season comes around and we come out and we start the season hot with big wins against Franklin from Elk Grove and Del Oro, a big win against Aptos, big win against Sarah, and then Midi put a little bit of a hole in our sail, but I'm grateful for that loss because it just made us work that much harder. And then we came back the next week, beat a great team at Reardon, and then week after that, I mean, the Holy War. That was the game that I remember the most, just because the touchdown in the early of the third quarter and beating St. Francis for the 11th time in a row. It sounds kind of crazy because it's like such a big rivalry, and we've kind of owned it for this last decade. I mean, 11 straight, like, that's something to be proud of as a school, as a team, like when we go out there and beat our rivals like that. The rivalry is a rivalry. Like, our students hate St. Francis students while we're playing them, and everyone has friends from both schools, so it just meant a lot. And then the next week we beat Sacred Heart Cathedral, and the morning after that I fly out to Kansas for my official visit with my dad, and I had a great time out in Kansas. I got to see all the facilities and had meetings with the coaches and got to go out with the team one night on Halloween, and I just felt like that was going to be my home. I knew that that's where I wanted to go.
When it came to baseball, Antonio's always been a fish in water with baseball. You know, the way he got things, and he always played up. Ultimately, you know, baseball, he realized that if he wanted to play a sport in college, Division I sport in college, that was going to be baseball. Football, he has to work hard for everything that, you know, that he ever accomplished there. You know, he's not 6'3", and he's not, you know, 225, and he doesn't run a 4.40. So Antonio was a workhorse that worked hard for what he did in football, and he was great. But Antonio knew that with his size and speed, that, you know, football wasn't going to be something that he would continue in college, and he knew that.
So I was just ecstatic that I got to commit to such a great school, to such a great coach, to such a great program.
The fact that Coach Price was recruiting, you know, Antonio, I mean, I don't think there's many dads that are going to be dropping off their kids to college in a few weeks knowing that that coach is going to look after their son. They hope, but they don't know. I think we're in a position where I know that Coach Price and Kansas baseball are going to look after my boy, especially in light of everything that he's gone through.
I knew I had a lot of work to do for baseball. I knew there was going to be a lot of eyes on me because I just committed and whatnot.
Got off to a fantastic year. He had 2 home runs. He was batting over 500 before Easter, and so he had gotten off to the start that we were all hoping for.
Sarah was the league powerhouse this year. They won league, whatever. The first big test was against them, and we were down to our last out. I was up actually, and I got a rollover base hit in the hole, so I was on first, and then Lawrence comes up, puts one off the fence in the gap, and I score from first to tie it. And then later in the game, he puts another one off the wall to win it. So Lawrence just tore that game apart. I mean, we just played a great game overall. I mean, we had some chances in the middle of the game that we didn't get done, but when we came out in extra innings, our boys stepped up, just like always. That was kind of the end of my baseball career here. After that, I only played one more game against De La Salle, and that was my last game. I was 146 pounds, so I lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks, and that's so quickly. I lost like all the muscle that I had worked for so hard, like for football.
What a great day for baseball. Welcome to Bob Faggio Field.
Well, it was a regular, normal day. It was his alumni game.
And after I started warming up with the team, I got this super bad neck pain on both sides.
And so I get to the game, and he has taken himself out of the game, which is very unlike my son.
Throughout the game, I can't even focus because I'm like losing slowly movement in my body, but I keep trying to move to make sure, like, to maybe like get it back somehow.
You know, over the course of 8 hours, really, these symptoms started developing as to, you know, at one point, his neck pain, which was at a 10, and Antonio was almost in tears in pain, and again, that's not like him, completely disappeared.
After the game, I can't breathe right. So I'm like, Dad, like I can't breathe, like I'm not catching full breaths.
He was having trouble breathing, and that's the point where we took him to the emergency room almost 8 to 9 hours later.
At this point, I have like zero movement in my entire body. So my dad grabs me around my like waist, and like fireman drags me on the floor. I can't feel any part of my body, so my feet are dragging on cement, and I can't even feel it. And then he drove me to the hospital at Good Sam.
Honestly, the first 24 hours when Antonio went in for his first MRI and he came out practically unconscious and intubated and paralyzed, and I couldn't get an answer as to whether or not was he going to live for the first 12 hours. And I just remember myself going outside of the pediatric ICU at Stanford and laying down on one of the couches outside and just crying, and because I didn't know, and no one was going to be doing it, and rightly so, they just didn't know. It was too soon.
So they put me in for my MRI, and like 45 minutes into the MRI, I stopped breathing. So they pull me out, get me to breathe, like to be breathing again, put me back in. 5 minutes later, I stopped breathing again, so I kept not breathing. So they pulled me out again, and that's when they decided that they were going to intubate me. last thing I heard the doctor tell me was, we're going to put you on Versed. It's this drug. You're not going to remember it in the next couple days.
And so those first 12 to 24 hours really were the roughest times where everything goes through your head. And so that was really tough.
From where I was 4 weeks ago, having zero movement, to being able to what I can do now is nothing shy of a miracle, really. I mean, I feel great. I feel better every day. I feel sore, which is good. I mean, it means that I'm working hard. But my body feels great, and I'm just excited for the full recovery.
What we believe happened, what the doctors at Stanford are telling us and at Valley Medical are telling us as well, is that he had an infection in his spinal cord.
What's the shirt you're wearing, man?
It's the shirt I got from the Cowboys. Jerry Jones sent it over. Matches the bracelets.
He's an inspiration. He's a fighter. He's always been a fighter. So, you know, if anyone was going to do it, it was going to be him.
Today's departure day.
In the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff.
Told you. It had to be. All right, now we can go. I don't know if I would ever want to learn like exactly what happened. Like, I mean, if the doctors at Stanford don't know now, I can't imagine that I'll ever really get an answer. But as long as my recovery keeps like chugging along as it is, like, I mean, I don't really care as much to learn.
Thank you. I will.
Wow, I wish there was a stronger word than proud. It's, again, he's been amazing, been an inspiration. You look back 10 years from now and where he's been, he's going to be able to, you know, give these stories to people. I know he talks about, I don't know the exact player, but he keeps track of all these players that are in the pros and playing that had debilitating injuries or cancer, and now they're back strong, and he's going to prove that he's a fighter, and he's going to come back, and he's got a story to tell. He's got a great story to tell, a story of, you know, of working hard, of drive, of faith, of prayer, you know, friendships, you know, of your parental, you know, your bonds with your parents. I mean, I will say, I mean, there wasn't an opportunity for us to get any closer than we did, and I'm closest to him now than I've ever been, even though we were pretty close before. And you know, there's so many facets to the story that you have to really sit down and figure out, because no one knows where it's going to end. I mean, yeah, you know what? We could be, you know, watching Antonio, you know, be a professional and be a lawyer, a doctor, a sports therapist. We can watch him leading off for the University of Kansas. Who knows? The final chapter hasn't been written yet. So either way, we know he's going to be successful in life.
When I get home, I'll probably go jump in my bed, see what it feels like. Missed it for a month. Say hi to my little dog that I missed. Give my brother a big hug. We're
doing some CrossFit. We're gonna do a minute hang cleans for him, and then we're gonna do a minute kettlebell swings. I'm a little injured, so I gotta do a little something modified, and then we're gonna do a 500 meter run outside, and then get back at it.
So here we are at the San Jose Police Department, where I've been training with my dad, trying to get ready to go to Kansas in 10 days. I mean, it's awesome. Anything I get to do with my dad before I go is gonna be awesome, because obviously I'm gonna miss him, and just the time I get to spend with him is pretty special. So just being able to do this on a Friday morning is pretty fun.
Hips is your most important part here. Go. Hips, there you go. 10 seconds. Come on.
He knows that I love doing the CrossFit thing, and I brag about it. I mean, and that, you know, the one bad thing about a CrossFitter is they never shut up about it. I think once he came in here, he saw that, yeah, it was no joke. And so he knows, and all kidding aside, it's a perfect combination of what I think Antonio needs to rebuild strength and his cardio and his wind, and get it all done in one fell swoop is perfect. So, you know, he'll keep working out with us till he leaves, and I'm sure when he's at Kansas, they will be, there will be some definite conditioning things that they'll be doing over there.
I'm feeling good? Let's cool off in the gym. Come on.
Today's a big day, graduation day. Couldn't be more excited. Finally get that Bellarmine diploma.
This is my dog, Allie. I don't like to be alone.
For all the boys. Just a memory from our season. WCL champs, CCS champs, NorCal champs. One hell of a season. I mean, I'll probably remember that one for the rest of my life. I mean, especially that game winner after Vince's pick. I mean, the setup, how it ended, the interview after with Kate Scott. I mean, that was just, that night, it was just, I can't even put into words how special that was to all of us. To take down Folsom, the powerhouse, at their field.
It was amazing, you know, it was amazing. He's a kid that works hard for what he accomplished. And you know what, Antonio was raised with a fighting attitude and always to work hard for what you get for. And he was a team guy, you know. I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna see an interview where Antonio patted himself on the back for anything. He was always thanking his teammates. And you know, the funny thing is most of his teammates are like that as well. I mean, they rubbed off on each other, and that's what the greatest thing about Bellarmine was. Coach Janda and Coach Amareus were amazing coaches at Bellarmine, and saw, you know, the hard work that all these boys put in, specifically, you know, Antonio, and gave him opportunities. And Antonio made the most of his opportunity.
And standing by on the field with one of the heroes from Bellarmine, Kate Scott, with Antonio Garcia.
And we just looked at each other when he got through, high-fiving all the guys on the Folsom team and said, wow, what a football game. This team hadn't lost in 30 games, hadn't lost on this blue field in 43 games. How did you guys do it?
We just came in, execute. Can I go sing the song real quick? Can I go sing the song real quick?
Hold on. We'll follow with him. Come on, we're gonna sing the song, guys. This is a very important part of the high school experience. I remember this very well down in the center.
Guys, look where you're at, because this is historic. Yep. We won 13 games for the first time in school history. First team in school history to win a NorCal championship. And Coach Janda's the winningest coach of season. I want every guy that ever wore that uniform to hear us tonight. Yeah. Here we go. Ready? Let's go.
Senior night for me was pretty special. I get to the field and I see that all the guys are wearing the Bellarmine Fight AG number 5 shirts, and it brings me to tears because, I mean, I love that team so much and every player on that team, and we work so hard.
This afternoon, we would like to take a moment to celebrate the Bellarmine Baseball Senior Class of 2016.
I get there, and as I'm walking up, you know, I realize they may have called some kids up from JV or what have you. And as I'm walking up, you know, in terms of the fence lines, I see one of the kids wearing a number 5 shirt. And as I continued to walk, to the dugout, I'm thinking to myself, man, they gave his number away already?
These student athletes have been great representatives of Bellarmine, the baseball team, the community, and their faith over the past 4 years. And we are honored to have had them in our program.
And as I get into the dugout and round the corner to see the entire team wearing that 5, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a very, it really just put everything together that Bellarmine's done for him. It just really signified, it wasn't just that it was baseball, it just really signified everything that, that they meant to him.
Kyle and his parents, Kevin and Beth. In the fall, Kyle will be attending Williams College.
I know they worked so hard while I was gone and while I was there for the preseason and the first 10 games. And then getting to take that picture with me, my mom and my dad, and giving my mom the rose and seeing myself in the starting lineup was kind of a shock. So I went out to shortstop for a pitch, and that meant a lot. And I came off to an applause from the crowd, and I just thank Coach V for that one, especially because he put that all together and made sure that my senior night was able to be something special.
And last but definitely not least, number 5, shortstop Antonio Garcia. Antonio is here with his family, his mom and dad, Eddie and Jennifer, and in the fall, Antonio will be attending Kansas University. In late March, our baseball program suffered a tremendous loss after our captain, Antonio Garcia, faced an unknown illness. The outpouring of thoughts and prayers have been tremendous as Antonio fought hard in the hospital at Stanford and later moving to rehabilitation, where he has surprised doctors in making a miraculous recovery. Antonio is a testament to our baseball community and the Bellarmine community that prayer and love goes a long way. Miracles do happen, which is why this Bellarmine team is so grateful to God, the doctors, and the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, the Dallas Cowboys, who learned of Antonio's illness and instilled a motto in him to fight. The Cowboys sent Antonio a hand-signed letter of encouragement and a t-shirt that only the members of the team are given with the slogan, "Fight." Antonio proudly wears that shirt today as his teammates wear a shirt in honor of him to remember they must always fight, no matter the circumstances or odds against them. The fight that Antonio has shown can be directly attributed from the love and support his family, friends, and the Bellarmine family has shown towards him. Let's stand up with Antonio as he continues his fight back onto the baseball field as he throws out the first pitch today. We'll do the national anthem, and we'll start the ball game.
Felt good. That arm looked good. I told Coach V I was always a pitcher. My dad's always been the tough guy. There's been times where we don't get along, but he's honestly probably him and my mom are my best friends. I mean, they're there for me always. The first week I was at Stanford, my dad slept in a fold-out chair. He didn't complain. He was by my side all day, every day, and so was my mom. And my mom was doing stuff at home too, and with my brother and sister, because they couldn't just be totally left alone. And they were also really strong through it, like Tyson. I mean, we didn't get to go to a lot of his baseball games, and he pushed through school and sports kind of without us for a while, because we were kind of MIA for a good month and a half. But I can't thank my parents enough for being there for me every day and doing everything they needed to do to help me get better.
watching him go out there and throw the first pitch out and then getting a play at shortstop, that was awesome. That was cool. I mean, that's when I knew that, hey, you're not done. You know, ever since we were at Stanford, we knew that this is going to have a storybook ending. And I tell you what, this is, you know, the last chapter's not even been written, so everything's going well.
Now coming in to play shortstop for the Bells, Connor Hendricks.
Everyone sees what happens to people on TV, but it's like, why would that happen to me? Why am I going to be that one that gets that injury? Well, it happened to me, and it was random. There was nothing I could have done to prevent it. So the message that I have to everyone is just like, play every play like it's your last, because my last play almost was that De La Salle game, but I'm just glad that through my recovery I'm going to be able to play again and play the game that I love and keep going.
Looks gorgeous. Oh, my baby.
I knew he'd be walking. There's no way he was going to not go. I mean, the part before that is the fact that he got to go to his senior ball. And so he had gone to his senior ball before the graduation. So I knew that was going to happen. But for what it symbolized from where he was, 2 months before.
I didn't know he was going to be walking across the stage 2 months ago, but he is so excited.
Actually, the first time I ever heard this, Coach Sam Ferraro showed me this one when I was in Little League. As an infielder, the glove is just an extension of your hand. So you put your glove on, it feels like you're cheating. Makes a real simple drill, because as you can see, I'm not hitting it that hard, but now when I can move him back, I can hit some lasers at him, put the glove on, it kind of equals out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like 160 now. At the lowest, I was at like 135. So I'm trying to get back to where I was at like 175, 180. It's getting so much better, and now I'm tapering off my medicine, so I'm not taking a lot of stuff, so just getting back to regular old me.
I got a cool letter when I got home, actually, after being in the hospital, from Joe Panic. He wrote this note, and I got a personal letter from him. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. He's one of my favorite players. Second baseman, got to stick together. So it was pretty cool, and it's pretty cool to have. I mean, and the other day I actually picked up my own Panic jersey that I'll be repping this summer for when I get out to the games. To my guys, I just want to thank all you guys for sacrificing your time and days to make my hospital stay a little easier. Me and all my buddies are all going to be split up across the country, but I know we're going to stay close, and when we get back at winter, it's going to be like no time was lost. And I'm just ready to take the next step in my journey of recovery at Kansas, and I just hope my friends the best wherever they are.
As we were sitting in that room during those days, you know, your perspectives change quite a bit. You know, you go from, God, you know, I hope that he's leading off next year, to I just want him to have kids and have a wife and a family, and I want his boys to go to Bellarmine. You know, those simple things, and so you appreciate that.
One of his JV coach Zuniga, made it for him, his article in the Mercury News and some of his pictures throughout the season.
Antonio Daniel Garcia.
So now that he's getting better, you know, all those things come back into the fray. Like, hey, you know, I do want you to work hard at Kansas and work hard to get in the lineup and be one of the 9 and do all that stuff, and you know, and then continue to work hard at whatever you want. And then at the same time, then you think, okay, but if that doesn't happen, that's okay. You know, if that doesn't happen, that's okay, because you have a different perspective.
Awesome. I can't, no more words. Awesome. Good stuff.